Hi, I'm Josh Ellsworth, General Manager with Stahl's CAD-CUT Direct. With a vinyl cutter and a heat press, customizing apparel is easy. But how about customizing shoes? If you can learn how to customize shoes, huge profit opportunities await. In this video, we'll show you some of the do's and the don'ts, and teach you about the tools and accessories you need to capitalize upon this opportunity. One of the first things you'll need is a source of heat, pressure, and time to apply applications to the shoes. For that, you'll need a heat press with an attachment that allows you to accommodate the shoes. In addition, you also need a tacking iron with an adjustable temperature for accommodating those tough to reach places that don't even fit on a heat press. Next, in addition to the heat press, you'll need a few accessories: a flexible application pad, a print perfect pad, a ruler, pair of scissors, and of course some sort of transfer. You can order a CAD Prints digital transfer from us, or you can order the heat applied film and cut it on your vinyl cutter. We'll show you both techniques. First things first, cut your print perfect pad to the size of your shoe platen. Once that's complete, preload your shoe so you can take a measurement of the printing area. Be sure to push down on it to feel what areas are receiving pressure and what areas are not. If I want to do a placement here on this shoe, I can see I have about 2 inches of pressing area. So I'll size my design to 2 inches in my graphic software and cut a design. Load your heat applied film and send over your file. This is a great way to use scrap material that you may have laying around from other jobs. Once the design is cut, let's weed away the excess. Once the excess is weeded away, trim out your design. Be sure that all the green is removed, and then we'll position it onto the press. Now I'll position the design. Make sure the press is set for the proper time, temperature, and pressure. And then lock it down. After you press it, simply remove the backing according to the recommendations for the film. This particular material peels when it's cooled off. Once completely cool, remove the backing. As you can see, I have a completed piece. I'm going to press it one more time with a cover sheet just to ensure a good application. That's it, the basics with the customized shoe. Now let's do a few more. Remember, load your shoe on ahead of time to feel for the pressure areas. Take a measurement. And we'll cut a design for this shoe. And we'll press it on. Position the number. And I'm going to use my flexible application pad to cover some areas that look like they may melt under the heat. I'll just add an extra layer of protection here. And with the Fashion Film Electric, you can actually peel the backing hot. In this case, it just kind of fell off for me onto the pad. So this is a completed shoe. Now let's take the right shoe from the same set and let's try to place a CAD print on this area of the shoe. Now the first thing I'll show you is that you're not able to get a really firm pressure on this area of the shoe because it's kind of fallen off, and also the sole of the shoe extends out a little bit and takes some of that pressure. So this is where the tacking iron comes into play. You can use your platen to hold the shoe, or you can use an UV glove or some sort of t-shirt to hold the shoe in your hand, but take your CAD prints transfer, position it in the place that you want it onto the shoe, and I'm better applying pressure with my right hand, so let me cover my left hand up, insert it into the shoe here, and then I take my tacking iron and I just apply direct pressure without moving. You don't want to slide the tacking iron. You can roll it a little bit, but you just want direct pressure. And apply that for about 15 seconds or so. Then remove the backing. If you see any areas on the corners here that may not apply all the way down because you didn't hit them with enough pressure, just cover it with your Flex application pad and position those down, but this looks like a really good adhesion. Now as you can see here, the reason we went with CAD prints is because it's a two-color design. Otherwise we would have had to lay two colors of heat-applied film. Likewise, if you want a multiple colored logo, like the one I have here, or this three-color design here, you want to utilize CAD prints or a print cut device. And let's press this design down. Now for this particular shoe, I'm not going to use a pad because it has a lot of padding in the shoe, so that's going to act as a pad for me. I don't really need to raise the print area up because there is really nothing in my way of a even pressure. Position my design, and I will cover it up with the Flex application pad just so this doesn't melt on me. Just to show you that anything's possible, let's do an application on the back of this shoe. Position my design into place. Make sure I get a good grip on the shoe. Remember, press and hold. Don't slide the tacking iron. And remove the backing. Of course, cleats and sneakers are a huge market in themselves for team business, but how about kids' shoes? Let's customize this small pair of Batman sneakers with the child's initials, and also these Echo sneakers for a kid. Now for this particular design, I've cut it out of our super film material. It does not have a sticky backing, so I'm going to need to use thermal tape in order to hold the design into place. So I'll cut a piece of thermal tape. tape it in the print location I want to use. I can put my hand in there, or I can actually use the platen, in this case, as a nice area to press down. Make sure some of these tough spots in between these raised areas are receiving the full pressure. It's also a cold peel material, so I'll let it cool down before removing the backing. Once cooled down, simply remove the backing, and then I've cut a piece of flex application pad to lay over it just to give it a second hit to make sure it's down. With cold peel material, sometimes it's nice to give them a second hit to ensure they're adhered adequately, because the mylar kind of lifts the lettering when you're peeling it away from the shoe. And this shoe is complete. Now let's show you how to do this small pair. We're going to do initials of a child for a back placement here. Once again, I'm going to use my platen to aid me with getting a good pressure. Position the design I've cut. This is a sticky back material, so it holds nicely into place. Remove the backing, and for good measure I'll cover with the flex pad and apply a little more temperature, time, and pressure. And completed shoes. So as you can see, shoe customization is pretty easy when you have the right tools. You just really need to know about the challenges that different types of footwear presents, the print locations that you can accommodate, and items that will melt on the shoe and how to accommodate those. You also want to pick a heat applied product that applies at a low temperature. At Stahls, we have all these products for you in our heat applied films that we manufacture, and also in our CAD prints digital services. I encourage you to visit CAD-CUTdirect.com to learn more about our heat applied film and customizing shoes. Thanks for watching.